Christianity promotes a theological framework that encourages adherents to diminish their aspirations for material and worldly achievements, emphasizing instead a focus on spiritual submission and anticipation of an afterlife. This perspective is evident in several scriptural passages that underscore the prioritization of divine allegiance over personal ambition. For instance, Philippians 2:10 states that every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, which conveys an ultimate inevitability of subjugation to divine authority. Such language implies that earthly pursuits of power or status hold limited value, as all individuals will eventually submit, rendering temporal striving unnecessary. These teachings collectively foster a mindset of restraint, where individuals are instructed to limit desires, personal development, and social advancement in favor of passive waiting for heavenly reward. The concept of the kingdom of God residing within believers, as articulated in Luke 17:21, this approach maintains compliance among followers, cultivating gratitude for minimal provisions and discouraging challenges to existing hierarchies. The eschatological elements of Christianity further contribute to this dynamic, portraying Jesus as oriented towards departure from earthly existence to reunite with God in heaven, selectively including those deemed worthy. Adherents who avoid greed and material attachments qualify for this inclusion, aligning with the doctrine of the election. The notion of the rapture derived from passages such as Thessalonians 4:16-17 depicts a sudden divine intervention where faithful individuals are removed from the world, leaving others to face destruction. This expectation diminishes motivation for addressing global issues, acquiring new abilities, or exploring beyond familiar environments, as the early realm functions merely as a temporary enclosure before ultimate transcendence. John 17:18 affirms that Jesus' kingdom does not belong to this world, indicating a disinterest in reforming temporal conditions. Consequently, ecclesiastical efforts towards social justice appear superficial within the broader theology, which prioritizes eternal outcomes over immediate resolutions. The resurrection narrative offers a deferred promise of fulfillment in paradise for those who maintain belief, rather than advocating for improved living standards in the present. Believers are thus guided to endure earthly hardships with the assurance of superior conditions in the afterlife, interpreting suffering as aligned with divine purpose. This instills a pervasive apathy, leading to a form of nihilism where worldly engagements lose significance. Interpretations of Jesus' character suggest a nihilistic outlook where he expressed reluctance towards his mission and a desire for conclusion through death. Mark 10:38 questions the readiness of followers to share in his suffering, reflecting fatigue rather than enthusiasm. The account in Luke 22:44 of Jesus sweating blood in the Garden of Gethsemane and pleading for removal of his fate portrays someone seeking escape from worldly burdens, viewing existence as inherently burdensome and mortality as liberation. The absence of detailed plans for ongoing societal improvement stems from an imminent apocalyptic expectation, rendering long-term efforts superfluous. Adherents experience guilt for aspiring greater achievements, as John 17:14-16 describes them as in the world, yet not belonging to it, transforming detachment into virtue. Prayer and contemplation supplant active intervention amid social inequities, such as economic exploitation or widespread deprivation. The combination of apathy, nihilism, and guilt reinforces total surrender as the core response to earthly meaninglessness, with significance found solely in submission to divine will. While this perspective accurately acknowledges human suffering, it posits inaction as the resolution, thereby limiting potential for transformative engagement in the present. Simply another way to say Jesus gave you a poverty mindset. Seems that the crucifixion may have been a spiritual translation of him having passive suicidal ideations and all of his hope in Yahweh as he gave up on the world and told us to do so also.